Obviously, this is section 2.5, chain rule number 6. And we have all these, and we're supposed to find f of g of x at 4. So g of 4 is 5, and then we're going to have to find f of 5, which is 4. Now we're supposed to find h prime of 4, so we have to do the derivative of a composite function. So it's the derivative of the inside, g prime of the inside at 4, times the derivative of the bigger picture, derivative of f of g of 4. Well, g prime of 4 is 6, and g of 4 is 5, and f prime of 5, f prime of 5 is 6, so we get 36. All right, C. We've got another composite, but it's the other way around, so it's f prime at 4. Oh, no, we're just supposed to find h of 4. So f of 4 is 1, and g of 1 is 3. And then now we're doing h prime of the composite, so that's going to be f prime of 4 times the bigger picture, g prime of f of what was inside, which is f of 4, and f of 4 is 1, and g prime of 1 is 4 for this part, and f prime of 4 is 5, so we get 20. Now h prime of 4, if h is equal to this, so h prime is going to be a quotient rule, so it's going to be f prime at 4 times g at 4 minus g prime at 4 minus times f of 4 over g of 4 squared. F prime of 4 is 5 times g of 4 is 5 minus g prime of 4. G prime of 4 is 6 times f of 4, which is 1, over g of 4 squared, which is 25 minus 6, 19 over 25. 7. We have a product and we have a composite function on this piece. So the product rule is derivative of the first times the second plus derivative of the second times the first. Derivative of the first is 2 times the second plus the derivative of this, and inside we have a 6x, the derivative of 6x is 6 times the derivative of the bigger picture. Sine of something is derivative is cosine of the something, whatever was in it, times the first, and that's the derivative. Now, cleaning that up a little bit, that's 2 sine 6x plus 12x cosine 6x. That's 7. 8. So we have a composite function and find the exact instantaneous rate of change at this value. Here's f of x and here's g of x. So let's pull up some paper to do this one on. So h of x, which is f of g of x, is f, which is something cubed, and g of x is put into it, so the sine of x cubed. Okay? Now the derivative of this would be derivative of the inside, g prime of x, times f prime, with the variable being g of x. For g prime, the inside is cosine x times derivative of the bigger picture, something cubed, is going to be 3 times that something squared. And that something, the variable in this, is the whole sine x. And then we're supposed to find this at pi over 4. So we have the cosine pi over 4 times 3 sine of pi over 4 squared. So we got the square root of 2 over 2 times 3 times square root of 2 over 2 squared, which is the square root of 2 over 2 times 3 over 1 times square root of 2 squared is 2 over 2 squared is 4. These two cancel, and we get square root of 2 times 3 over 4. And that's the exact. Okay. B. All right, so move this up. B. Which function is changing most rapidly at x equal 0.25, at x equal a quarter? F of g of x, which we just figured out was this, h prime of x is that, and the prime tells us how fast it's changing, what the slope is, and then we've got it reversed, r of x, so we're going to have to do r of x, which is going to be in the sine function is the x cubed function, because it's g, this thing, of f, and so this is put in for the x. So r prime of x is going to be derivative of the inside times the bigger picture derivative of sine of something is cosine of the something. Or if you will, we have g of f of x. Its derivative is the derivative of the inside, f prime of x times the derivative of the bigger picture, g of prime of f of x. So g prime is, that's the g was the cosine, so its derivative is, that was the sine, so the derivative is cosine of the f of x, which is that, and f prime is 3 there. So following the rule, or just doing the derivative of the inside times the bigger picture derivative. And they want to know which is changing faster, this one or this one at 0.25. So I put my calculator, quit, clear, and I type in cosine 0.25, close, 3, sine 0.25, close, squared, that whole thing squared, and I get the first one, h prime of 0.25 is 0.1779, and the other one is 3.25 squared cosine 0.25 to the third, close parenthesis on that cosine, and we get 0.1874. So this one is increasing. Let's see, it says which one is increasing most rapidly? This one over that one. So R of x is increasing most rapidly because it's got a steeper slope, slightly. And which of these functions has a derivative that is periodic? Well, we can graph and find out, but this one, cosine is periodic and sine is periodic. But the cosine of something that's not just a linear thing, this is a cubic, is not going to be periodic, and this part is not periodic. So this one is not periodic. It's not going to repeat itself. This one will repeat itself. And that's number 8.